Good morning. We're just going to give folks a moment to clear the waiting room. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are appearing before the board. Okay, good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the city of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm chair of the Boston Licensing Board, and I'm pleased to be joined today by my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kayla Saxon.
Thank you. As a reminder, please do mute yourself unless you are appearing before the board. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly. I will read each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You will then make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the chair and commissioners. Following questions, there will be testimony beginning with elected officials or their representatives. Please limit your testimony to 2 minutes and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. Beginning with item number 1 on this morning's agenda, now calling Nascence Inc., doing business as Happy Lemon, located at 3193 to 3201 Washington Street in Jamaica Plain, has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above in 4 rooms on the first floor, dining, ordering area, kitchen, storage and rear, and separated from the front area by a counter and door. Bathroom is located in the far left corner. Manager Si Kiao Jason Liu, and hours of operation 11 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant? Oh, Mr. Liu, you are on mute. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Oh, hang on just a sec. You're still on mute. There we go.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm the owner of Happy Lemon.
Great. Thank you. If you could just briefly describe your proposal to the board.
Hi, okay, so we're located the first floor of 3193 Washington Street, and we have about 12 seating inside the store. We're available for dine-in and takeout.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Liu, what kind of food offerings do you plan on having?
Majority, we're offering beverages and drinks, and we also offer light snacks,
Okay.
like waffles.
Waffles?
Yep.
Okay. All right, thank you. And you plan to open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 9:30?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, commissioners, do you?
I do not, thank you.
I do not either, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, yes. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Tiffany Caballero here with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This licensing application has successfully completed the committee process, managing to gain support from the Public Service Committee of the Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council, along with support of members of the community. At this time, the Mayor's Office would just like to defer to the board's judgment. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I see a raised hand from Michael Reiskind. Mr. Reiskind, you may go ahead.
Yes, my name is Michael Reiskind. I live at 425 South Huntington Avenue in Jamaica Plain, a member of the Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council and chair of its Public Service Committee. We had a hearing on this issue way back on November 9th, 2021, and we urge you to pass this application. The applicant, this is a bubble tea, primarily a bubble tea shop at a new building that was built on a corner of Washington Street and Montebello. Questions were, of course, about takeout on a corner building. People were very comfortable with it and with the hours. Questions were about litter, trash, and parking. I think the community supports the request for a 10-minute parking spaces in front of the building on Washington Street. The applicant also went to the Eggleston Square Neighborhood Association and the local Chilcott Place Granada Park Neighborhood Association and received support from both of those. So we urge you to pass this application. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 2, LA Donuts, Inc., doing business as Dunkin', located at 1912 Beacon Street in Brighton, has applied for a common victular license to be exercised.
Boston, the other guy.
If everyone can please mute yourselves.
No real movement or updates for the past couple months.
Great.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hang on just one moment. If you can please remain on mute until you are speaking before.
Yep, sorry.
Thank you. All right. Item number 2, LA Donuts, Inc., doing business as Dunkin', located at 1912 Beacon Street in Brighton, has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above. First floor contains 5 rooms, 1 main sales area, utility closet, 2 offices, and rear storage. The new Dunkin' will take up half of the sales area with a demising wall separating the kitchen area and storage, additional storage in basement. Manager Alexander DePietro, hours of operation 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
My name's Alex DiPietro. I'm the owner.
Great, thank you. If you could just briefly describe your proposal to the board.
Yes, absolutely. So I currently own and operate the location across the street at 1955 Beacon Street. This is actually just simply a move across the street to what most people on the call might know as the old Store 24 or Boston Convenience. We're actually going to be splitting the space where Dunkin' will take up a portion of it, as you mentioned, in a few of those rooms. And then there will also be a portion of the building that will remain as convenience store. This will be takeout only, serving all of the traditional Dunkin' foods, mostly beverages, but also breakfast sandwiches and donuts.
Great, thank you. I will turn it over to the board to see if there are any questions. Chairwoman Joyce, do you have any questions for the applicant?
So the hours on the application of 4 a.m. to 9 p.m., is that when customers will be allowed in, or is that when you will be, can you explain the hours to me?
The store currently is open 24 hours, the convenience store. That will remain, from my understanding. And those will just be the hours where someone will be able to access the Dunkin' portion of the building and get coffee and donuts and sandwiches.
All right, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you. Commissioners Carron or Saxon, do you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Chair and members of the board. Frank Mendoza here, Alston Brighton Liaison for the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Here to report that the applicant had an abutters meeting on August 11th. Abutters expressed some concerns about trash containment and also truck deliveries, which the applicant promised to address, and also went before the BAIA on August 10th. BAIA voted to support if the applicant would listen to abutters' concerns about trash and trucks. We've received 10 letters, including from Councilor Braden's office, expressing support with certain provisos attached to that support, and would like to defer to the judgment of the board at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 3, Osnamak Inc., doing business as Centerfolds, located at 12 to 18 LaGrange Street, holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from David Weinberg to Nicholas DiFilippo. Attorney John Cannell. Attorney Cannell.
Good morning, Chair Joyce, board members, Attorney John Cannell from Upton, Connell, and Devlin in Boston. I believe I have here with me Nicholas DiFilippo.
I'm here.
Good morning. We are here to seek to change the manager of record to Mr. DiFilippo. Mr. DiFilippo has worked at this establishment for about the last 10 years. He has experience, therefore, in the restaurant and alcoholic beverages industry. He is a U.S. citizen. He's a Mass resident, and he's very familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the service of alcoholic beverages, both in Boston and Massachusetts.
Thank you, Attorney Cannell. Just one question to clarify from Mr. DiFilippo. Your attorney says you worked here for 10 years. What were your job responsibilities for the last 10 years?
I was a floor manager for the last 10 years, responsible for the safety and
security of all the employees and patrons of the building.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't have any other questions. Commissioners?
No questions. Thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 4, Park 54 Restaurant Group LLC, doing business as Park 54 Restaurant and Lounge located at 51 Fairmount Ave in Hyde Park. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Sean Hunter to Tasha Hull. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
I'm here, Tasha Hull.
Great, thank you, Ms. Hull. Chairwoman Joyce, I'll turn it over to you for the manager of record questions.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you for joining us today, Ms. Hull. Are you a citizen?
Yes,
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
yes,
And where do you live?
in Hyde Park.
Hyde Park. Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
With Park, since Park 54 is opened, yes.
Okay. And are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. I don't have any further questions. Commissioners, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 5, 119 Salem Street, Inc., doing business as Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Nick Damore to Emmerich Richard Lenar, who is present on behalf of the applicant. Oh, I actually see Emmerich Lenar here connecting to audio. Nope, I believe we may have lost him. All right, we will take a second call to see if he comes back. Calling item number 6, BBRGTR LLC, doing business as Atlantic Fish Company located at 761 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Joseph Badafarano to Matthew Thomas Sentis. Attorney Tom Miller. Attorney Miller.
Thank you, Danny. Good morning, Chairwoman Joyce, Commissioners. Tom Miller from McDermott Quilty and Miller on behalf of the licensee. I am joined by Matthew Sentis. I saw him in the chat earlier today. There he is. Matt has extensive experience in the food and beverages industry, including acting as general manager at Atlantic Fish since October of last year and at other establishments previously. He has extensive experience in the food and beverage industry. He is a citizen, a resident of the Commonwealth. He is very familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the Mass General laws as it pertains to the sale and service of alcohol. He is, he is well qualified for this and has extensive experience doing it. We appreciate your time hearing us this morning, and we are happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Attorney Miller, and thank you for joining us, Mr. Sentis. Where in the Commonwealth do you live?
Abington.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Commissioners, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 7, BBRG Newberry TR LLC, doing business as Joe's American Bar and Grill located at 26 Exeter Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Heather Sanses to Samantha Reynolds. Attorney Tom Miller. Attorney Miller.
Good morning again, Danny. Good morning again, Chairwoman Joyce and Commissioners. I am still Tom Miller, still from McDermott Clothier Miller, and I'm here on behalf of this licensee. I am joined by Samantha. I can see her on the screen. She also has extensive experience in the food and beverage industry, including being a previously approved manager of record by this board on 2 different occasions. She has therefore extensive experience in the food and beverage industry. She is a citizen of the U.S., a resident of the Commonwealth. She is familiar with the rules and regulations of the board, the Commonwealth, the ABCC, and the Mass General laws as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol. We thank you for your time hearing this application, and we are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks again, Attorney Miller, and thank you for joining us, Ms. Reynolds. Where do you live in the Commonwealth?
I live in Saugus.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have no further questions, Commissioners, to you.
I do not. Thank you.
I do not either. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 8, the Oyster Bar Inc., doing business as the Walrus and Carpenter, located at 200 Faneuil Hall Marketplace, holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license, has petitioned to pledge the license to Pursuit Inc. Attorney Adam Barnowski. Attorney Barnowski.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Adam Barnowski, 255 State Street in Boston. I'm here on behalf of the applicant. Here regarding a pledge of license for the Oyster Bar Inc. The board may recall this application. A similar application came before the board for a transfer of license earlier this year from Pursuit Inc., which was the former holder of the license. The pledge stems from the same transaction and relates to seller financing. The license is being pledged as collateral for a note held by Pursuit. This is a short-term 12-month note, and we anticipate that the pledge will likewise be short-term. There are further details provided in the pledge and loan documents that was included in the application. Happy to answer any questions of the board.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. I don't have any questions. Commissioners, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? The board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 9, United Wine and Spirits LLC, doing business as I Liquor, located at 11 to 17 Bennington Street in East Boston. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Yujia LLC, doing business as I Liquor at the same location. Hui Ling Deng, manager, closing hour 11 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, Chairman and board and everyone. This is Attorney Key representing Yujia LLC. So the proposal we are doing is seeking a transfer of Section 15 liquor store or alcohol license at an existing liquor store. So our hours of operation is Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sunday is 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So the applicant is Yujia LLC, and the manager's name is Deng Hui Ling. So the store is located at 11-17 Bennington Street, East Boston, Massachusetts. So this is a pure asset purchase transaction. So we are not going to do any construction, and we'll keep the business name I Liquor. And we also will also do the transfer of other license, including the lottery and the cigarette license. So currently, the store is holding 30 brands and 4 to 10 types of wine, and with a capacity of 10 to 15 cases of each type. And we also will keep all the employees to work in this store after the transfer. And also our manager has already taken the certification, the training. So she is certified as the liquor store manager, and she's very familiar with this industry. And my client is also sitting next to me. I don't know if you guys can see her.
Hi, morning. My name is Hui Ning Deng.
Good morning.
And actually, I do have a PowerPoint, but like I think probably like I have just submit other things to you guys. And also we have already contact community service Maverick Central Neighborhood and also Eagle Hill Civic Association. But because of the schedule conflicts, so like we will have meeting, I believe, next week, September 21st with Eagle Hill Civic Association. So we're still waiting for the availability of the day. And also, I also contacted Miss Caroline Burkhardt from Maverick Central Neighborhood. So I'm still waiting for the available date for our presentation.
Thank you, Attorney Key, and thank you to Ms. Dang for joining us. I just have a couple of questions for Ms. Dang, if you don't mind turning the camera towards her.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us again. Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Do you live in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Actually, no, but I'm always interested in management, and I got to know Mr. Wu, and he is willing to help me as the manager. So I got the position and applied for the certification.
Okay, so you did take some training?
Yes.
And you're familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay. And how long did you work with the previous manager to train from him?
I'm sorry, Shiva, can you repeat the question?
I thought she said she received some training from the previous manager.
No, not previous manager. She received
Previous
training.
owner.
She received the actually help from the previous owner and who is also presenting in this meeting. And but she did take a training from I think a certification. Do you want us to submit that? It's called TIPS.
Okay. Sure. And then do you sell nips and singles at this liquor store?
I'm sorry?
Does this liquor store sell nips and singles?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. And you have not had the community meetings yet?
No, we just got scheduled because I think we got a notice that about a hearing around about like I think August 20. So we have already passed the community meeting date. So we immediately contacted and I got a notice that like the earliest date that we can have with the Eagle Hill Civic Association is September 21st, which is next Wednesday, and also with the Maverick Central Neighborhood Center, they gave us the time, and I'm still waiting for my client, actually the owner and also the manager, their availability to attend the meeting with them, because I don't want to go there alone. I do want to introduce my client to the community.
Okay. Would you be open to putting a condition on your license that you agree not to sell nips and singles?
Yes, we will agree.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today, Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon. Do you have any questions?
Not at this time. Thank you.
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer judgment to the board. As you heard from the applicant, they've graciously agreed to meet with several civic associations. Our office would not require an abutters meeting because it's a transfer and no operational changes at this location. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Great. Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 10, Eventide Fenway LLC, located at 1321 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Tasty Burger 1 LLC, doing business as Tasty Burger, located at 86 Van Ness Street. in one large room on ground floor with dining areas and bar, restrooms, kitchen, storage, and office space located in rear, in one additional room and annex space with additional seating, no table service or alcohol service, annual outdoor patio located on private property with 14 seats and 11 p.m. patio closing hour. Indoor closing hour 2 a.m. James Martin, manager, attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Good morning, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the transferee, Tasty Burger One LLC. With me is David Dubois, who's the founder and owner of Tasty Burger Concept, and James Martin, the proposed manager of record. I certainly hope is here with us. I don't see him.
I saw him earlier. I saw the name earlier.
Dave, is he here? David, you're muted. Oh, well. Let me-
James is here.
Okay, he's there with you. Okay, thank you very much.
He's not with me. He's on separately.
Okay, all right. Well, hopefully we'll find him here when the time comes. Madam
He's
Chair.
on my phone. I can see his phone.
Yeah, we see his iPhone in
Okay,
the
okay, great. Thank you. This matter is a transfer of an existing Fenway area license from the former licensee Eventide to Mr. Dubois' new Tasty Burger location on Van Ness Street. The existing Tasty Burger remains, but the lease is coming due, and the site is a construction site, if you will, in the future. So the Mr. Dubois had the opportunity to purchase this neighborhood license to transfer to a new location for the continuing life of Tasty Burger in the Fenway. The original site will remain in business until the lease runs out, at which point the ownership of the transfer of that license will take place and will come before the board for another location. So in any event, we will end up with one Tasty Burger in the Fenway. He has been there for many years as a fixture in the neighborhood. We reached out and dealt with the Fenway Civic Association. ONS did not require an abutters meeting given the nature of the transfer, from one nearby location to another, and Mr. Dubois' long experience in the neighborhood. We would ask that you approve a CV only going forward in the event that this matter takes some time between yourselves and the ABCC, so that he could at least open for food service while that is being approved. And other than that, we have Mr. Martin, who is a citizen, has experience, and is present to answer any further questions, as is Mr. Dubois. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty, for explaining that so clearly. Mr. Martin. There we go. I think you're still on mute, Mr. Martin. If he could unmute himself.
I just asked him to unmute.
Hello?
Thank you.
There he is.
Thank you. Just a couple of quick questions for the board regarding your status as the manager of record. Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Absolutely.
And where do you live?
Attleboro.
Okay. And what is your experience in the food and beverage industry?
I was the director of culinary and a regional manager for Back Bay Restaurant Group for 25 years.
Okay.
I was food and beverage director at Tasty Burger for 4 years and director of operations for the last 2.
Thank you very much. So the last question, do you have experience in the food and beverage industry? I'm sorry. Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to sale and service of alcohol?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us today. I have no further questions.
Commissioners Carr or Saxon, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I do not. Thank you.
Nothing from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer judgment to the board. As you heard from the applicants, they went through community outreach and received support from the Fenway Civic, and our office is unaware of any concerns from the neighborhood at this time. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thanks, Connor.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling item number
Thank
11, DTXLL Holdings LLC, located at 13 to 15 West Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Santa Fe Burrito Grill East Boston LLC, doing business as Santa Fe Burrito Grill, located at 303 Sumner Street in East Boston. Premises consist of a restaurant on the first floor of a 4-story building, 1,350 square feet of area, including dining area, seating for 29, kitchen and bathrooms with storage in basement. Pierre Gallego, manager, closing hour 11 p.m. And lastly, is petitioned to pledge the license to DTXLL Holdings LLC. Attorney Adam Barnowski. Attorney Barnowski.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Good morning again, Madam Chair, members of the board. Adam Barnowski, 255 State Street in Boston. With me is Hector Angel, the principal owner, Carlos Echeverria, the operations director, and Pierre Gallego, who goes by Harry, the proposed manager of record. We are here regarding a transfer of an all-out beverage license at 303 Sumner in East Boston. The license will be used in the operation of a new Santa Fe Burrito Grill, which is a minority-owned first-generation small business. Mr. Angel and his team will operate other Santa Fe Grill locations in Melrose, Acton, Weymouth, and Franklin. This will be the first location in Boston. The property is located on the southern side of Sumner between Orleans and Cottage Street on the first floor of a mixed-use building. The restaurant consists of 1,350 square feet of space with seating for 24 patrons. This is going to be a mix of fast casual restaurant sit-down dining, options for burritos, bowls, salads, tacos, desserts, and an array of beverages. It will be open 7 days a week. We would like to clarify the closing hour. The applicant initially applied for an 11 p.m. closing hour. However, with the Jeffreys Point Neighborhood Association expressed concern with the closing hour, and the applicant has agreed on a 10 p.m. close 7 days a week. The location was approved by the ZBA for a restaurant use as a redevelopment of the property several years ago with support of the JPNA and local officials. The public need for the project, which was also addressed at the time of the zoning approvals, was relative to the need for economic development within the neighborhood. A handful of restaurant projects have been proposed for the space with community support. However, for various reasons, most recently the pandemic, there is yet to be a viable project for the space. Hector and his team have a proven track record, and they are committed to investing in this location and in the neighborhood. Harry Gallego is the proposed manager of record. He has extensive experience in restaurant and management in New England, including 10 years experience in the restaurant industry. He is a U.S. citizen and will be a permanent Massachusetts resident prior to the commencement of his duties associated with manager of record. He currently lives in Everett, Massachusetts. He will be on site 40 plus hours a week. Carlos, who oversees operations for all Santa Fe locations, will also play a vital role in the opening and running of the business. The applicant anticipates a fall opening following completion of construction, which is currently underway. They did complete community outreach, including with the JPNA. You'll note that the letter from that board is split with 23 opposed and 22 in favor. It's worth noting that, as I mentioned earlier, this location did have the support of JPNA for restaurants at this location, including several prior restaurant proposals at the site. The concerns cited in their letter are relative to closing hour, entertainment, and double parking. And I think we've addressed all three. Number one, on the closing hour, we've decided to limit it from 11 o'clock down to 10 p.m. There will be no entertainment at this location. There will be non-live background music, but it'll be at a conversational level or lower. It'll simply be for ambiance for the restaurant. And the double parking issue, I think, was based on the notion that this would be more of a grab and go fast casual restaurant. Part of the reason why the applicant's applying for the liquor license is to make this more of a traditional sit-down restaurant where people from the neighborhood and from the street, from the area, will come and sit down and enjoy a beverage. It's also worth noting that the application has alcoholic beverages and licenses in Malden. They have licenses for all the locations throughout the state. They've had no issues at the local or state level, no violations to date. And lastly, briefly, the pledge is relative to seller financing for the license. And we're happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you very much, Attorney Barnoski and Mr. Gallego. Your attorney laid out all of the elements of the manager record that I usually ask, but just to clarify for the record, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol? He's nodding yes. I think he's still on mute.
Oh,
Harry.
Okay, yes, I am.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. I don't have any questions at this time. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
I do not, thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Attorney Barnoski, I do not believe the board has received that letter from the JPNA, so if you could forward that when you are able to, that'd be great.
Absolutely, will do.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer judgment from the board. As you heard from the applicant's representation, they've been through a lengthy community process, meeting with the JPNA, which was narrowly voted to oppose, but since then, the applicant has made changes to their model in order to address those concerns. Our office also held an abutters meeting back in 2021 with the previous liaison, Lena Tremelli. So they've completed the extensive community process. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Raised hand from Kristen Scanlon. Attorney Scanlon.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kristen Scanlon representing the landlord in this matter. We'd just like to go on record in support and offer just a brief history of this particular site, which has historically been a retail storefront. It sat vacant for several years and still is obviously vacant prior to this current proposed tenancy. For the better part of the last decade, there was extensive community outreach for the redevelopment of this mixed-use site, which included a contemplated and approved restaurant space through first the zoning process and also with support from electeds who were in position at that time, nearby abutters and the JPNA. Then licensing attempts from previous prospective tenants to gain a neighborhood restricted license, which ultimately fell through due to the lack of availability of licenses at that time. The landlord under an affiliate entity has the opportunity to transfer this license in for the tenant to avoid any delay due to lack of availability for neighborhood restricted licenses right now in East Boston to finally get this site up and running for the long approved restaurant use contemplated for this site.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 12, Bolivia Associates LLC, doing business as Taranga, located at 1746 to 1748 Washington Street in Roxbury. Holder of a common victual or 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Aceituna Grill Newbury LLC, doing business as Aceituna Grill, located at 267 to 269 Newbury Street. 1,950 square feet of retail space on one floor, 2 entrances and 2 exits, annual outdoor patio on private property that is 354 square feet with 15 seats, patio closing hour 9 p.m., indoor closing hour 10 p.m. Amal J. Kurban, manager. Secondly, has petitioned to change the classification of the license to a wines, malt beverages, and liqueurs pursuant to the authority contained in Chapter 481 of the Acts of 1994. Attorney John Cannell. Attorney Cannell.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Good morning, Chair Joyce and board members. Attorney John P. Connell from Upton, Connell and Devlin in Boston for the applicant transferee. This transferee applicant is seeking to open another Aceituna restaurant location at 267-269 Newbury Street. We're seeking a common victualler and a beer and wine with an upgrade to cordials. This restaurant would have 49 seats, 15 of which would be outside on the annual patio. The proposed closing hours 10 p.m. for the restaurant, but in consideration of the neighbors, the patio would close at 9 p.m. This applicant already operates 3 very successful restaurants in the Boston and Cambridge location. In Boston and Cambridge, their Seaport location has a liquor license. They're a very popular Mediterranean, Greek, fast casual dining experience. They're very popular because their food is very good and their hospitality in particular is excellent. In developing the business plan for Newbury Street, based on their other locations and a canvassing of the neighborhood, they discerned that alcoholic beverages would be a strong public need for consumers and patrons who wish to have these beverages with their meals. Most of the restaurants along Newbury Street also have liquor licenses, and this would allow them to compete with those restaurants. The new manager of record would be Mr. Andrew Kervin, who is here under the AJ. I believe you're muted. AJ.
Hello. Yep. Hi, everyone.
Mr. Kervin has experience in the restaurant and alcoholic beverages industry. He's a U.S. citizen. He's a Massachusetts resident, and he's very familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the provision of alcoholic beverages, both in Boston and the state laws as well. I don't know if you have any questions, but Mr. Kervin here can certainly answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Attorney. Mr. Kervin, what is your experience in the food and beverage industry?
I've worked in the food and beverage industry pretty much my entire life. This is a family business, and we've run the original Aceituna Grill location in Kendall Square since 2003. And I've been officially involved since 2016 and taken on multiple roles in the company.
Okay, thanks very much. I don't
Thank
have
you.
any further questions.
Thank you.
Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
None, thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. So far, we've received one letter of support from an abutter and a letter of non-opposition from NAB. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 13 has already been approved by this board. It is only on the agenda today to correct a legal defect in the notice and advertisement that went out. Calling item number 14, No Name Restaurant Inc., doing business as No Name Restaurant, located at 15.5 Boston Fish Pier. Holder of a common victualler 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Amelia's Taqueria 4 Inc., doing business as Amelia's Taqueria, located at 1076 Boylston Street. Premise to be licensed is 3,060 square feet on 2 floors, indoor seating for 36 with seasonal March to November outdoor patio of approximately 300 square feet on private property with seating for 12, and with hours of Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and general closing hour 11 p.m. Luis T. Garcia, manager, attorney Trish Farnsworth. Attorney Farnsworth.
Good morning. Thank you, Attorney Green. Good morning, Chair Joyce and members of the commission. Attorney Trish Farnsworth with Lawson and Whiteson on behalf of the applicant. And with me is Amir Sharanian. Amir, if you just want to wait.
Sure. Hi, how are you doing?
Owner and operator, and also Mr. Luis Garcia. Luis is here as well.
Good morning.
Yep, there he is. Okay. So we're here seeking a transfer of a beer and wine license, not a cordials, just the beer and wine license from the No Name restaurant that went bankrupt and is closed. Mr. Sharanian has 4 locations of Amelia's Taqueria in Boston, and this one has been in business since 2019. The first one was 2013, and Mr. Garcia joined him back then in 2013 and has been managing restaurants, so he's experienced. There has been a public need at this location. The patrons have requested the beer and wine to complement the food. Amelia's Taqueria is a authentic Mexican food restaurant. I think as Secretary Green stated, it has 36 seats inside and 12 seats outside on a seasonal patio. The hours are 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. We have done the community outreach, held the abutters meeting on August 25th, and also communicated with the Fenway Civic Association. I believe you do have a letter from them in support. And we're agreeable, and actually the plan was to just serve beer and wine with food only. I mean, that is the plan. This is not there's not going to be a bar or, any kind of, nature like that. The restaurant's going to remain the same, authentic Mexican food, just now complemented by beer and wine. So if you have any questions, Mr. Garcia is a US citizen, I believe lives in Revere, and does know the rules and regulations. I sent him the Boston rules as well. And if you have any questions for Amir or myself or Louis, please let us know.
Thanks so much, Attorney Farnsworth, and thank you for joining us, Mr. Garcia. I don't have any further questions. Commissioners, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
No questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify in this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant secured support from the Fenway Civic, and our office is unaware of any concerns at this time. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify in this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will take a second call for item number 5, 119 Salem Street. Is there anyone present on behalf of Ristorante Uno? Oh, Mr. Yes, I see you. You're on mute now. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yes, my name is
yes.
My name is Emmerich Lenar. I've been with Restaurant Uno for 17 years. The general manager for 12 years. And I was looking for a management transfer of the license due to the recent manager had received COVID and had not returned back to work.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lenar, for joining us and for joining us today. Thank you for explaining your experience. Just want to clarify, are you a citizen?
Yes, I am.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes, I am.
And are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I have no further questions. Commissioners, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement, and thank you, Mr. Lenar, for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Those are all the items before the board today, and that will conclude today's hearing. Thank you, everybody.